Welcome to Conversations. I'm your host, Anthony E Thompson II. Today we have a guest that have a lot of life experiences, from being a mother to being a chef to creating big events throughout the city. Please introduce yourself today.
I'm Nick, and I am a chef. I'm the head chef at the vegan restaurant, The Kitchen Cooking by Q. I'm a culinarian. I teach classes. I teach people how to have access to good food and food that's good for them. And I'm the curator of the Speakeasy, the storytelling edition.
So you're a black superhero like every other black woman in our community.
Like, for sure.
Absolutely.
Absolutely.
So I want to go back into, more of your youth, even though you're young now. Let's talk about how you raise your children, because you have some dynamic kids. So I just want to hear about how you raise your kids, your son. He's a fashion enthusiast. Let's hear a little bit about your kids before we get into all your cooking and things.
I can be honest and tell you I don't really know how to raise those children, because I was 18 when I had the first baby. And in my early 20s when I had the second one, and we kind of grew up together. I made a lot of mistakes, and I thank them every chance I get for being my ride or die. They rode with me through the good, the bad, and the ugly. They've seen it, and we've grown up together. But I've always tried to instill in them some good values, you know what I mean? I'm so thankful.
So I take it that your kids got their entrepreneurship spirits from you for the things that your son is doing, especially right now. So let's talk about your business, because you're teaching classes, you're cooking at several different restaurants. And then I really want to talk about this amazing speakeasy that you created. I've seen nothing like it out here anywhere. That is huge. So let's first go into the cooking.
Yeah, so I cook for entire living because I believe in the power of food. I believe in storytelling through food. I believe that obviously everybody needs food to eat, and I love food. But also obviously grew up around food, grew up around farms. My family is really from my dad's side from Mississippi and Tennessee, and my grandmother was from Oklahoma. So they literally grew up on farms. They came here because of the automotive industry, but they continue to farm here and have land there. And so I was literally always around farms, and I would go and get food from the gardens and the farm and try to cook it on my own. My parents made me take etiquette and cooking classes and sewing classes, but obviously I was the most drawn towards the cooking classes.
So where did the entrepreneurship come from? Because it sounds like your family was of the working class, and you have a big project you're working on even now that you ventured out doing, dealing with cooking. Can you talk about that a little bit, and how did you even get this entrepreneurship spirit?
So I think it's kind of in my blood. As much as I'm a entrepreneur, I'm an activist, and I think my grandmother, for sure, she just died literally 11 days ago.
Sorry.
It's cool. But she was an activist. And I really never made the connection literally until the day she died that I really worked to give my life away to other people, because that's what she did. And I never made the connection. I never made the connection the entrepreneurs. Well, I did understand my first entrepreneur experiences was when, those garbage cans came out for the city of Detroit, where they would come pick them up, those black ones. So my dad was because I always saw him doing stuff, being a hustler. But he was hey, he was I will buy your first round of paint and supplies if you take your garbage cans around the whole neighborhood and tell people that you will spray paint their addresses to the garbage can and the curb. And I was well, how much money am I gonna make? And then he was you can charge what you want. You just have to pay me back for my initial investment. And I was okay. And I got excited because the more people's doors I knocked on, and they were more excited I was a girl, me and my sister, spray painting these addresses on these garbage cans and on the curb. They really wanted to
How old were you?
Shoot, I don't know. I was probably 10, 11.
Wow.
Yeah. And so the more people that wanted to give me money, the more doors I want to knock down. When we finished our side of Southwest Detroit. I wanted to go on the other side, you know, and he was like, you can't really go by yourself, but I will take you, you know. So that was literally my first experience, and then ever since then, there's been like, you know, I got some candy in my backpack. Or you want a bottle or $1? Sure, but give me $1.50 back on Friday. Like things like that.
Yeah.
And ever since then, I've like, I don't know, it's been one try after another. Even if it's not perfect, even if I mess up, like I'm gonna try whatever, and then I'm gonna get it right. And maybe I'm gonna abandon it because that's really not for me. But
so tell us about this business that you have going on right now, this project you're working on.
So I am opening a bodegas, and I want to open them in multiple.
That's some New York stuff for real.
For sure, but we need that, you know what I'm saying? Like, I want to open up multiple corner stores in the city of Detroit because I feel like the corner stores that we have, like, they don't invest in us. They make their money off of the wino. They have old bread. They don't have nothing that's good for you. And then they get in their car and they drive to the suburbs. They don't really reinvest in like the neighborhood.
Like most companies, but go ahead.
For sure. But I'm from here and I love here. So I definitely want to open up corner stores that are good for us, good to us, that employ people who are from here, who we can give like ownership to also. I don't want it to just be my store in the end.
Wow, you say give ownership to, like, how does that structure look? Like, how?
I mean, I feel like in order to be a leader, you got to take somebody with you. So I don't just want to own these stores. I wanted to make sure that people understand that if I can own it, you can own it too. And we can own it together. Like, you're going to work just as hard for your store as I am if I'm the owner. So if we can do this together, you know, we can't help but to succeed. I don't want to be the only owner of these stores in the end.
And where are you at in the process right now? Do you have any like dates or anything like that, or?
I really don't want to say the dates because this has not been like a short-term thing. I don't want nobody to think I've been working on this for like a year or just thought of it yesterday. This has been in the works for like 5 or 6 years, so I can't tell you. Yes.
Yeah.
I don't want to open tomorrow and close, you know, next year. I can't tell you that I've been working on it for 1 year. I haven't. It's been a long process. I don't want to tell you the date.
Okay.
I just want you
We
to
respect you, sister. We respect you.
We doing it.
Okay.
Yes.
So let's transition over to the Speakeasy, because the Speakeasy, oh man, y'all delivering so many powerful messages. It's like you giving a voice to the people, and this experience I really see at Essence Festival. I really see being a tour happening. I really feel like a lot of big women, especially targeted brands, should really get behind this because this is big. Like, speak to the Speakeasy experience.
Somebody said I was way too humble the other day about it, but I just get as excited about it as everybody else. I'm always standing in front of the audience like, oh my God, all these people are here for this experience.
It's big.
Yes,
it's
I
nice.
literally, after almost 3 years, I still cannot believe it one bit that every single time I feel the same way. I'm so nervous, like, oh my God, are we gonna like sell enough tickets? And then we sell out and I'm like, how we do that? But I mean, honestly, because I know it's not about me, you know, I know that I do a lot of the legwork, but I also know like people, they come in here. I have an inbox full of stories that I would never, ever get to. That's the truth. And I just don't even know why people are so, I get why people are so intrigued. Don't let me say that. They're so intrigued because these stories are authentic.
Oh, very authentic.
Yes, they're so intrigued because people are so transparent. They say things in this format.
It's such a safe environment too.
Yeah, that they wouldn't say like in a room full of like 4 people and it's like 150 people at this point. And then
it might be more than that because that's 150 chairs. Then you got a lot of people standing on the outskirts.
We do.
Standing at a bar, near the food area. Like, this event is amazing.
Not to mention we have a DJ, then there's food, good food. Then there's an open bar. I don't know, it's just super authentic and I
what inspired it? Like, I'm trying to see, what I'm trying to ask you is like, where did this come from? Because this is like, I haven't seen nothing like it. So where did this come from?
I mean, obviously, I don't feel like I'm a storyteller. I feel like I tell stories through like food and like, you know, my journey through life. But I feel like at one point, I felt like I had a story to tell, or something had happened to me, and I literally felt like I was the only person in the world that this had happened to. But really, honestly, like, I'm really not the only person. And until you hear like a lot of people saying like, hey, this happened to me too, and this is how this happened to me, it don't always even have to be bad. Like, it can be good stuff, you know what I'm saying? But you still feel like, just like when people like want to start a business and they be so scared about people stealing their idea. Like, child, you ain't the first one that came with that idea. But if no one has ever talked to you about these things before, or, you know, what's going to happen next, or whatever, like challenges and championships, you feel alone.
What's so interesting about it, the Speakeasy, is it's not just women, but it's men getting up telling their stories. I'm talking about heartfelt stories. Some stories I heard, I'm like, man, I'll never talk about that in public. Like, it's just deep. It's so deep that I felt like if Oprah or Steve Harvey, one of them, saw what you were doing, that they would figure out how to pick this up. It's freeing people. It's spiritual. When you're in this environment, it's just like I said, I've never seen nothing like this before in my life. I
have a mentor, and he tells me the same thing. But I guess because I'm in it and I'm so critical of like, not the people who I bring into the space, but I'm really critical of myself. So before the Speakeasy and then after the Speakeasy, I'm probably like beating myself up, because the truth is I want to be the best storyteller, because I don't know if that's possible. I don't know if that's my lane, but I want to be the best host. I literally curate this show. Who was it? Drake Pfeiffer. We had a conversation and he asked me if I would ever produce shows for someone else. And I was like, I produce shows. And he was like, you literally produce a whole show. That was the first time I ever thought of myself as like a producer of anything, you know what I mean? Like, I literally had to think about it like, did I produce something? You know what I'm saying? Like, and for 3 years, I've been putting together a show, making sure like the sound is right, making sure like if I don't know something, like I have a manager who knows more than me. Like,
but you're doing more than that, because like even you done brought some style to it. Because I look at the way you walk in, how you dress, because you know I'm heavy into fashion. So I watch the way you come and you dress, the different hairstyles you do. Then I started noticing that you helping shape a culture, because then I'm noticing other women and guys, they come in and they're stepping up to the part on the way they dress, how they present themselves. And then it's a certain expectation, like you produce an excellent production, because it's a certain expectation with the food, it's a certain expectation with the music, with the drinks. And then when the stories are told, the atmosphere is set in such a manner that it's such a freeing environment, you know. Sure. And then what's so excellent too is what I noticed that you didn't talk about is where you have your speakeasies is actually in your location that you're gonna open up first. So I'm looking at how everything is tied in together and what you're doing in the community, because you have a farm right back there where you're growing food.
Yeah.
And I saw that and I was like, this is so dope. Like, I see the energy that she's bringing everything together. So
yeah, so it's on the farm. I mean, obviously, I'm all about that. It's in a location where hopefully we be open, you know, when we open. The team that works on the Speakeasy at this point, because everybody has just like taken the thing that they do the best and they do it the best. Like they care about it. And none of us make money off of the Speakeasy right now. And the more we grow, I'm able to pay more people. My main focus is making sure the vendors are paid and not just doing favors for me. You know, even the speakers, you know, people who are telling their stories. Yeah, for sure. The whole thing is like curated to a point where not just I get noticed, but you get noticed. The farm gets paid attention to. And when it's warmer, you'll be able to like really understand that we're on a farm, because you'll be able to buy like produce.
In the middle of the city. That trips me out. Like, you put together a farm in the middle of the city.
I didn't put together the farm. I support the farm.
Yeah.
I didn't do that. Like, Jerry Hebron, she's a genius. She's amazing. But I definitely support farmers, and I definitely support people understanding. I can't stand hearing people say, like, they don't want to eat at certain places and blah, blah, blah. Like, you need to eat at places where you really understand that people care about you and where you can ask people where they get their food. You need to, like, you can go to the farm and pick up something on a Monday, Tuesday, Wednesday, Thursday, Friday and get it way cheaper than you would if you're going through Kroger. Yeah. Like, you really can. And those people care about you. They care about your body. They care about their well-being. And they care about, you know, everything that you hadn't ever thought about before you read the news. Yeah. Like, it's taken care of for you. But people get so hung up on, like, what they see on TV when you can really take care of yourself.
What is Nick listening to? Like, I gotta ask music questions. Like, what music are you listening to right now?
Definitely listen to Janae Aiko today.
Ooh, okay.
What else? What's her name? Snow Allegra. Love her. And what else am I listening to? I don't know. Always Summer Walker, because she's...
I love Summer Walker too. That just gave us a lot of insight about you, because that's definitely your flavor, the music you listening to. I can picture you cooking, and it definitely plays into the way you dress and the way you move. So you're a very artistic, fun-loving person. So we want to just, in closing, you know, we want to know, and the people want to know, but really it's me want to know, what is your outlook in the next year? Like, what is this you're looking to accomplish with your brands?
In the next year, I'm not gonna lie, I hope to, like, get a ton of money from, like, pitching and just, you know, telling my story. I think I've been focused on telling other people's stories for the last few years. So telling my story a little bit more and getting open. Like, I haven't been in a rush to get open. And honestly, I'm not in a rush to get open now, but I know that there is a need to get open. So my goal in 1 year, not promise, is to be open and, you know, running.
Last thing, give your shout outs to the people right now. Who are your shout outs? Gotta do it.
I want to get a shout out to my kids, my mans and them. It's like, I got on here. Like, I already have no shout outs. My people know who they are. Yeah.
All right, people. We appreciate you today for coming through Conversations. We enjoyed you. Everyone have a blessed day.